Good evening to you all. Today, we're going to talk about the 6th episode from Surah Yunus, which is titled No Change to the Words of God. O people, there has come to you an admonition from your Lord, and a healing for what is in the hearts, and guidance and mercy for the believers. The meaning: the Quran has come to you, O people, as an admonition, wisdom, healing, guidance, and mercy for the believers. The source: it is Al-Mizan fi Tafsir al-Quran by Al-Tabatabai. So, the question here is, guidance and mercy for the believers. Well, what about the non-believers? Won't the Quran guide them? Doesn't it come to all people, as it began addressing all of humanity at the start of the verse? Say, in the bounty of Allah and in His mercy, in that let them rejoice. It is better than what they accumulate. Recitation: let them rejoice. There were some people who recited it as faltafrahu and others who recited it as fafrahu. As for the last word yajmarun, some people recited it with a ta as tajmarun. The meaning: say to the believers, O Muhammad, rejoice in the blessing of Islam and the Quran. And there are others who said, no, that's not what's meant. Islam and the Quran, that is, what is meant is knowledge and the Prophet. Why? Because both are the best, Islam and the Quran, or knowledge and the Prophet. So, according to both opinions, they are better than what the disbelievers gather of worldly things. The source here is Zad al-Masir fi Ilm al-Tafsir by Ibn al-Jawzi. The questions here are: what is the wisdom behind repeating the letter Ba in Bifadli, by His grace, and Biramatihi, by His mercy? And also, what is the wisdom in repeating the letter Fa in Fabithalika, so with that, and in Falayafrahu, so let them rejoice? Then he says, Hua, how is Hua, he it, used for the singular, when we actually have two things? We have the grace of Allah, that's number one, and we have the mercy of Allah. So you're talking about a dual here, meaning it should be they which are Allah's grace and His mercy. Whether that's Islam and the Quran, or the Prophet and knowledge, it's not a big issue, but in both cases, it's dual. So how come it's Hua, he it? So what does Hua refer to, exactly? Personally, I wrote out the verse and even tried to see what could possibly affect the text, or what deficiency might occur in the text if we wrote it differently. Like this: say, in the bounty of Allah and in His mercy, let them rejoice. That is better than what they accumulate. Say, have you considered what provision Allah has sent down for you, and you have made some of it unlawful and some lawful? Say, did Allah give you permission, or are you inventing lies against Allah? The meaning: Allah is telling the Prophet, say, O Muhammad, to the disbelievers of Mecca, have you forbidden the provisions of Allah that He has made lawful for you, just as people did in the days of ignorance before you? Did Allah give you permission for this prohibition, or are you fabricating lies against Allah? Source: Lubab al-Tawil fi Marani al-Tanzil by Al-Kazin. Why is the word Allah repeated 3 times in the verse? And what do those who fabricate lies against Allah expect on the Day of Judgment? Indeed, Allah is truly bountiful to people, but most of them do not give thanks. The meaning: what do those who lie about Allah think will happen when they meet Him on the Day of Judgment? Do they think He will not punish them? Allah has shown favor to people by sending messengers and revealing scriptures so that they may clarify the rulings. But most people do not thank Allah. Source: Lubab al-Tawil, in the meanings of the revelation by Al-Kazin. The question here is, why is Allah truly bountiful to people? because he sent them the scriptures and sent them messengers to clarify the rulings for them. Now, would this be considered a favor from Allah if he had not sent them? If he had not sent, I mean, the scriptures, the messengers, and all these things to clarify the rulings for people, people would not have been able to know God at all. That's what I believe. I mean, I claim that this is an obligation upon God, because in other verses he said that we would not have held people accountable if we had not sent a messenger to them. That's the meaning of the verse. I mean, I'm not memorizing the Quran word for word. So, is sending messengers considered a favor from God? And whatever matter you may be engaged in, and whatever portion you recite from the Quran, and whatever work you do, we are witnesses over you when you are engaged in it. And nothing escapes your Lord, not even the weight of an atom in the earth or in the sky, nor anything smaller than that or greater, but it is in a clear record. The meaning, and whatever you do, O Muhammad, there is nothing you do like delivering the message, teaching the law, or reciting the Quran, you and your community, except that we are witnesses over you. And there is nothing that escapes your Lord, not even the weight of a tiny ant on earth or in the sky, except that it is recorded in the preserved tablet. The source is Majma al-Bayan fi Tafsir al-Quran by al-Tabrisi. The question here is, why did God address the Prophet Muhammad at the beginning of the verse, then address both the Prophet and his community in the middle of the verse, and then return to addressing the Prophet Muhammad alone at the end of the verse? Let me explain it to you. Here, he says whatever you do, which refers specifically to you, O Muhammad, because if he wanted to address him and his people together, he would have used the plural form. And he said, whatever you do, exactly like that, right? Then, immediately after that, he addressed him and his community, saying, and whatever you eat, which means you all, and nor do you do, meaning you all as well. So, you see, all of this is in the plural form, right? And then he says to him, and whatever you. So, he started here with the Prophet Muhammad. Pay attention here. And whatever you do, O Muhammad, and whatever you all eat, O Muhammad, you and your community, and whatever you and your community do, except that you and your community are witnesses, and when you all benefit, again referring to you and your community. Then, at the end of the verse, he goes back and says to him, and nothing escapes your Lord. You, O Muhammad, do you notice the difference? So here it's you and here it's you all. Throughout the whole passage it's you all. What's the wisdom behind that? Why didn't he address all of them from the beginning to the end, so that a person could understand the direction of the conversation clearly? The second question says, and nothing escapes your Lord, not even the weight of an atom. The jurist says that an atom is something extremely small, like an ant, meaning nothing at all escapes God, not even the tiny things as small as an ant. All right, that's good, but nowadays if you talk to someone, they'll tell you, no, the atom is what they invented, the one used in the atomic bomb. So what exactly is meant by atom? Is it the tiny thing the jurist talks about, or is it the atom we know from atomic science, the one used in atomic bombs in our modern era? But indeed, the friends of God will have no fear, nor will they grieve. The meaning is that the friends of God, whose faith is true and whose deeds are good, will have nothing to fear from the terrors of the situation and the torment of the hereafter, that is, the horrors of the day of judgment. Nor will they grieve over what they left behind in this world. The source is Al-Wasit fi Tafsir al-Quran by Sheikh Mohammed Syed Tantawi. The question is, what is the wisdom behind separating verse 62 from the following verse 63? Those who believed and were righteous. The meaning that they are the group in 62 countries describes them as those who believed in God alone, feared him in their actions, followed his commands, and avoided his prohibitions. The source is the same, Mohammed Sait Tantawi, the mediator in Quran. Alright, what is the wisdom behind separating the current verse, 63, from the previous verse? They are basically one verse, one concept. For them is good news in this life and in the hereafter. There is no changing the words of God. That is the great triumph. The meaning here is that those who believed in God and feared him will receive glad tidings that will make them happy in this world and the next, and God does not change his word nor break his promise to them. The source is the same, Al-Wasit fi Tafsir al-Quran by Mohammed Sait Tantawi. And I brought a single source for these three verses because their meanings are connected, as they are considered to be part of the same package. The question here is, how can it be said there is no changing the words of God? How is that? Here is God himself changing his words and even abrogating them. For example, in the Quran itself, it says, "And when we substitute one verse in place of another, and God knows best what he reveals." That's in An-Nahl 101. It says, whatever verse we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, we bring a better or similar. That slipped by us in Al-Baqarah. Alright, that's in Al-Baqarah 106. So here, he is changing substitution possible for him when he replaces verse with another. Get it? So it could happen again, not just once. This is about whatever we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, we bring something better, meaning, if we forget it, he'll bring something even better. Let's not get into Nansak and Nuncy and all that. We've talked about this. But if we abrogate something, some say nask means copying, others say cancellation. We've covered this in Surah Al-Baqarah. In both situations, he brings something better. So as long as he brings something better, he cancels it. That's logical, it makes sense. Substitution, yes, he substitutes. We replace verse with another. I don't know how you reconcile this. So the question now is these two verses and how they relate. Do not let their words grieve you. Indeed, all honor belongs to Allah. He is the all-hearing, all-knowing. Do not let the disbelievers' denial of you and their refusal to acknowledge your message sadden you. 1. Because Allah promised you victory over them. This verse is a consolation. Allah comforts the Prophet and soothes him with this verse. The source is Al-Tashil Liulam Al-Tanzil by Ibn Juzay Al-Ghanati. I don't have a question here. Indeed, to Allah belongs whoever is in the heavens and whoever is on the earth. And those who follow others besides Allah as partners, they follow nothing but conjecture, and they do nothing but lie. The meaning here is that the dominion of the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah, and those who worship idols are only following delusion, and they fabricate lies about Allah. The source is the same, Al-Tashil Liulam Al-Tanzil by Ibn Juzay Al-Ghanati. Here, the question is very brief. What is the wisdom behind repeating whoever is in twice in the verse? I mean, if it had said, indeed, to Allah belongs whoever is in the heavens and the earth, what would be missing from the text? What deficiency would there be in the text? He is the one who made the night for you so that you may rest in it, and the day bright and visible. Indeed, in that are signs for people who listen. The meaning is that Allah is the one who made the night for you to sleep and rest in, and he designated the day for work and productivity. These are signs for people who reflect. The source is Jami al-Bayan fi Tafsir al-Quran by al-Tabari. The noteworthy point here is that there are those who speak about Allah in the third person and say, he is the one who. How many times is that? That's one using the pronoun and made, meaning Allah could have said, indeed, we made the night for you to rest in. So what does this mean? What's the story here? So here, the speaker refers to Allah in the third person. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode.